Well, I didn't see things ending quite this way. I am very surprised and very glad that things turned out the way that they have gone. In case you've missed it or you've been living under a rock, Hasbro, Wizards of the Coast, they have decided to make all of 5th edition Open Commons license. This is a change that they have already done. It is irrevocable. They can't undo it. This is a huge win for fans of Dungeons & Dragons and for role-playing games in general. This means that 5th edition, the most successful edition of Dungeons & Dragons, will remain open and it will remain Creative Commons. So anyone can produce any content they want for Dungeons & Dragons using the System Reference Document, the SRD. This rule set is over 400 pages and it, like I said, exists in the Creative Commons right now. What this means for those who have built their livelihoods on creating third-party content for Dungeons & Dragons, it is all safe. Almost everything is allowed, almost everything is permitted. Hate speech, you still can't do that. Now, this move is the best possible outcome for Wizards of the Coast trying to build back or gain back some of the trust that they have lost, all of the goodwill that they have burned from their fan base. It is incredibly difficult to quantify the damage, the trust that was broken by Wizards to third-party creators. This decision does mean that those who have built their business on the backs of Dungeons & Dragons are safe, and this is the best possible outcome for them. This also means that those who had projects in the works are able to release them now without fear of losing their business or losing their content that they created. Does this mean that third-party creators are still going to choose to work with Wizards of the Coast and Dungeons & Dragons? Probably. There are still going to be some who want to expand the Dungeons & Dragons universe. There are still those, like I said, who have projects that they want to finish. From a business perspective, this is completely understandable. You've worked hard to release a product, you want to see it to its finish. Does this also mean that there are going to be those who no longer want anything to do with Wizards of the Coast? Yes, of course that's what this means. And in both cases, these views are justified based off of what has happened. We shouldn't be going to war with our own community, the one that has rallied around a cause like none other that I have seen. We should be supporting our third-party publishers. We should be supporting those who choose to still work with Wizards. We should be supporting those who choose no longer to work with Wizards. And we should also choose to support those who choose to work with Dungeons & Dragons and make their content available on other systems. Wizards has a very long and difficult road ahead of it to rebuilding back the trust. The damage that they have done, I don't feel like it will ever be back to normal. The damage that they have done is so vast. The wound that they have made within the community, it is so deep. I don't think it will ever go back to before the OGL controversy. Does this mean that we can let our guard down? I would say for now, probably, but always be wary, always be vigilant. Corporations, it doesn't matter who they are, they do not have your best interest in mind. They only want your money. There are corporations that exist out there that operate with a sense of morality, and as long as they are providing a good product, I have no problem paying for things to support a company that way. But if a company starts acting up in a way that I do not appreciate, I will not support them with my wallet. Money is the only thing that companies understand. And Wizards and Hasbro, they learned a very valuable lesson because the community spoke with its wallets. Canceling those D&D Beyond subscriptions was a very clear message to Hasbro, to Wizards, that the community will not tolerate being mistreated. Another message that was received loud and clear, Paizo's stock for Pathfinder products, their 8-month supply disappeared in 2 weeks. And their open gaming license has over 1,500 signatures, 1,500 companies and publishers that are willing to create for this new system. I am sure that when it is ready, we will get a proper taste of it and it will actually be a draft. Does this mean that we are in the clear from more Wizards shenanigans? Probably not. The open gaming license saga is done. The virtual tabletop license, as far as I'm aware, is done, at least until we run into this 1D&D or the new 6th edition of Dungeons & Dragons, whatever Wizards is going to call it. At that point, I would be very skeptical, very wary about signing up for a new service, signing any sort of agreement that they have. I still personally believe that when the new edition comes out, they will try to control it the way that they did with 5th edition, but because of the open gaming license and just how long 5th edition has been successful at being open, does that mean it's going to be the same way with 6th edition or 1D&D? Maybe, maybe not. I will continue to be skeptical about any terms and conditions that the new version of Dungeons and Dragons, whenever it comes out, I will be very skeptical about whatever is contained in those documents. I personally hope that I don't have to cover any more open gaming license nonsense in the future. I will talk about it if there is something newsworthy or something that I feel needs to be addressed, but at this point, I think the community has said enough. I would be lying if I said that it wasn't good for the channel, and I appreciate those of you who have found me or discovered me because of it. I do plan on continuing to cover Starfinder. I am also looking to expand more into the Pathfinder universe, so you can expect to see more lore videos from me around Pathfinder. If this wound has caused you to look at other role-playing systems, great. Go explore what's out there. There are so many good systems, so many good games and stories to tell. If you still want to play Dungeons and Dragons, that's fine too. Let's remember that we are all part of the community, no matter what games we choose to play. Everyone makes mistakes at some point in their life. Everyone gets something wrong at some point in their life. The fact that an error or a mistake happens is not a big deal to me. It's how it's handled after the fact. That is what speaks volumes. I hope that as a community, we can continue to be kind to one another. We can continue to be kind to everyone. This will also likely be my last upload for a while I move back to Canada. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about Pathfinder, then I suggest you click this playlist up here. My name's Nathaniel. Thanks for stopping by, everyone.